call the Selectmen's meeting to order at 6:31. Rise for the pledge, please.
31.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, this meeting is for the 1-hour meeting, for a public meeting for the Sunrise Lakeland Shores application for the beach. That's pretty much what it is, right, Laura?
Yep. The association.
The association, I'm sorry. Yeah, association, so 1-hour meeting, so we can chit chat about it, we can carry on new business or do whatever. So 1-hour meeting, and after we close it, we'll have a budget committee meeting starting, so. All right?
So I do have a couple questions. Oh, no, go ahead. I didn't see you.
No, that's all
Mine
right.
has to do with this stuff. Do you have
Well,
something
that's the
different?
only question I have.
Okay, go ahead. Do you want to answer my question?
What lot are we talking about here?
It is.
108?
There's several.
There's,
There's 3. So you come down Sunrise,
yep,
Lake Shore, okay,
This is the public beach,
right here.
okay? This is the one with the basketball hoops and all that.
who owns this?
Right now, it's under the town of Middleton, but it's the Sunrise Lakeland Association.
That's what they're applying for to get back in their name.
Okay,
Then you
okay.
have this piece, which is a wooded lot that we took from a gentleman named Duncan. And then you have a piece right here.
Yeah.
Then you go over here, and you have this chunk.
Now what about at the very end of?
No, that's this one.
Oh,
That has
okay,
no,
That's it.
that has
So
no
this
thing.
is part of Hampshire Shores then?
Oh, this, I know where this is.
That's that little dot by you,
I know,
this one.
yes, I know what that is.
Yeah.
But it has no map and lot, so I didn't deed that. I think it goes with the others.
This is where they have 3 or 4 docks.
So back in the day, just so we can be clear,
You gotta catch John up.
so, okay, so back in the day, in 1968, they did the 63, 64, which is the 221, the big piece up here. Yeah,
Yeah.
those
Or
were
merge.
for recreation, those were given to the Sunrise Lakeland for a recreation building kind of thing.
Mhm.
Okay. Then in this exact deed, it also says, granting also roadways, parkship areas, beach areas, docking areas, boat launchers in the development included on the aforementioned plan. Okay, so that's 104, 108, that's all on the same,
104,
108, 108,
and this one doesn't have a number.
that doesn't have a number.
So my only question is, are you guys okay, because 104, which is that wooded one, we took from Mr. Duncan, because I did find stuff on that, for non-payment of taxes.
Okay.
So at some point, we must have given that to
That's still
them.
town-owned property, because that was after the first one you just read.
When was that taken?
This was taken from Mr. Duncan in '86. This is the deed from the town clerk.
Okay, so
Taking that.
86, and that was 68.
Then this later was never recorded. This was giving them that same piece back in '90, this piece. But this was never recorded. We
Given
couldn't
to
find it.
who? The
Back to
Lakeland?
the Lake-
Yeah, it was given back to the Sunrise Lakeland.
Association.
But this never been recorded. We went back, we could not find any meeting minutes for anything around this
So
time
basically,
frame.
that's that 104 property, right?
Correct.
So that we'll have to maintain and have, so we have to be a separate issue. Until that's recorded.
Well, no, we can do it right here. I made a new
Okay,
one.
all right, we
So
can
we can do
record.
them all together at the
Good.
same, that's what I'm saying. I just
Get
wanted you to
rid
be
of
aware.
Yeah. No. we
Okay,
need-
can I ask what, so 102 is us?
No, 108 is the beach.
Hello, right here,
That's your
So 108
beach.
right there,
This
104.
is.
That's that wooden lot.
And down here that has no number.
Right, and so this would be the end of Lake Shore.
Right,
Yes.
right by your finger, here's probably the
Right,
gate.
this is
right
Dowling.
Okay.
So that's your little, the one
That's
with the
the,
little,
what we consider the second beach.
yes.
Now, is this the end where they call it Tanglewood or whatever?
there. No.
Tanglewood is, you know where Tanglewood is.
Tanglewood is basically,
Right here?
Up here.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So at
And
some
then
point
that
there is,
other
that's
piece.
okay.
So we need to take care, you're gonna take care of that?
That's included, that has no map and lot, so that's gonna be included, because it says, I referred to this thing that says all beach
Well,
areas.
the parties here, which were Star Snyder and Dorothy Reynolds, didn't properly record it.
What else is
So I
new?
guess my question is, because at the end of Lake Shore, right across from where, so you already said that's what this is?
That's what I'm assuming this is. Is that near Yoda's?
No, Yoda's is further down.
Up here.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Is there
There's
another
supposed
one
to be
in
a
there?
third
There is a
beach
piece of property
right
here
there, that's
that
the
goes,
spot.
and I don't know who owns this one. There's a piece of property that, this road comes down
Mhm.
to and has, really, the road has filled in the lake there
I
with
think
wash.
this is Yoda's place. I think.
That's Yoda's place.
Right
yes.
here's the gate.
Yep,
75 is Middleton. This is
Okay,
us.
so this is
That's
us,
us. And it's considered Tanglewood.
Okay.
but it doesn't reach the beach.
No.
So this,
That's a boat
but this
dock.
road, it's a boat,
That's a boat dock right here.
well, it's designated a boat dock, but it's not even deep enough to get a.
Right, but it's town.
a
It's
Flat,
not a-
okay. Is this town road?
that right there is woods right
Yeah.
now.
But is that a town road? Because this property does not abut the shore line. This does. And there was, a couple years ago, there were piles of sand dumped right there.
Isn't
so
this the
that's-
gate to Pinkham?
No.
Is that this?
No,
No, this
Oh,
goes
this
out.
goes up here. So we'd have to
I'm not
look
sure
at
what
the
that is
adjoining map, looks like here, where this is. This looks like a turn.
that-
Because,
Five.
can I
It's the
just
next
say,
one.
so that third, what we always consider third beach for the association, that piece of property actually does touch the water.
Okay.
This one?
Yeah, you can't,
So.
could
if-
be.
because
Tax
if
maps
it's
are not
this-
accurate.
If it's this would touch the water, whereas that doesn't. But I do know that what we always consider the third beach, we always call it, does touch water. I do know that for a fact.
This would be your third beach. You have the beach, you have 104.
No, so that's just extra, that wetland that I was talking to on the phone about, that's wetland. That we don't consider to be the beach at all. That's just a piece of property that we ended up with, that basically, like I said, we considered once putting a dock out, but then we said it wouldn't be fair to other people, it wouldn't be fair to
Well,
the neighbors.
there's 3 docks that are put out there.
No, for this piece of property here, we were actually going to use it at one point, they
Yeah, but there are
discussed it.
3 docks that are there.
That's the second beach then, that's the second
Whatever.
beach.
This is that little,
This one here I'm talking about.
oh, this one here,
yeah.
oh.
This is
There's
considered to be the second beach.
I have a question
This is
for all
first
of this.
beach 1, beach 2,
Yep, so
beach
we don't
3.
consider this a beach at all, because it's all wooded, it's all wetland.
Well, we have over in Pinkham, a beach that's all overgrown. It was a beach originally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Janet.
How can our deeds, and I'm sure you'll say the same thing, I could be wrong, but how can our deeds say that we have the rights, like in our side, to 2 private beaches? Yet, in the articles of agreement for the association, if our association went defunct, that the beaches would go to a nonprofit. You can't take those beaches away from us. So the town doesn't have the beaches to begin with.
Yes, we do, because it's given to us by the Attorney General's office to take care of and maintain.
But they can't do that.
Well, it was done.
This
We're
is,
not making
your,
stuff
I know, but they
your
can't do that.
association has deed to those properties, right? Your-
But we have deed to those properties.
We're not talking about up here, we're talking about over here.
I know that, but doesn't theirs have the same?
They have deed
Maybe not.
access and rights
Water
to
access.
the, water access to the beaches.
This is like common property for the,
For the
Right.
people in in
No,
that
not in
area.
the
So those
not-
beaches
not
should
in
have
the-
gone,
not in the association, because there's no mandatory association.
that's right. So the beaches
There's
should
no
have been
mandatory
given,
association in yours,
That's
but
right.
your association legally owns, if I'm correct, legally
they
owns.
can't legally own.
Well, they do.
They can't though, John, because the deeds say that we have the rights.
Rights doesn't mean ownership.
But you can't give those beaches, because what Jerry said in her yearly letter was that if membership doesn't pick up and the association were to fall, that the beaches would go to a nonprofit and that we wouldn't be able to use them when we want. That can't happen.
Well,
I've already talked to an attorney. That
Well-
can't happen.
Well, look, the only thing we're trying to do.
I mean, they're getting back their association, I understand
Yeah,
that.
We're just
yeah.
trying
But
to
I don't
get our-
Whatever
understand how,
happened in the past makes it
I don't
how different
understand
comes
how
back.
they did that to begin with.
Well, the biggest thing is, I mean,
what did-
well,
I know, it's
whatever.
it's not your fault, but I don't know how the Attorney General could even do that.
The attorney said we had to hold the 2 public meetings to get rid of them.
well, we have legal right to turn
Yeah.
them over, we have legal
Yeah.
And once it's done and
properties,
notarized,
however they
recorded.
got there are legally
we hopefully never have to
deeded
deal
to
with it
us.
again.
So then we can deed them back to them and they can do what they want with it
Right.
as an association. What if the association dissolves?
Then, like Jan said, I think they're supposed
They go to
to,
the homeowners.
or they have to give it to a non-profit organization.
They can't take it from the homeowners, that's what I'm saying.
Well-
Well, they could I don't know, I
The
don't,
problem is when like that, when you have beach and waterfront property, who's responsible? If there's someone
All
go down there and
the-
dry, everybody who has property down there can be sued individually.
well,
But they can still be sued in.
well, over at Hampshire Shores, our dues.
Yours is mandatory and it covers
Well, yeah,
insurance.
we're different than all the other ones
Right.
because it's in our deeds that you have to be a member of the association.
Right,
So in that deed, we pay dues, $45 a year, whatever the heck it is. And it paid, most of that goes to pay for the 3 waterfront properties that we have.
right.
2 beaches, one which is wooded, it's overgrown. The other one is a boat ramp,
Right.
it's a private boat ramp, and the other one is
Is
a
a regular
beach,
beach, yeah.
is a association beach. So, so, that insurance, liability insurance pays for that.
Yeah.
Takes care of what governing that we take care of, so if I'm coming in here late, so I don't wanna stir the pot, but if we have, which appears to me, we have legal ownership of that, and if we want to give it to the land association, free and clear, and we don't have anything to do with what, if it dissolves, I guess we do it.
Yes, just for the.
The,
for the association.
Somehow
The- the
somehow
deeds-
they changed
The
it.
deeds, they can't do it because the deeds were all done before any association was formed. So the deeds were first, which gives the
But
homeowners priority.
somebody has to own the property, and that was the problem with
Yeah,
the deeding property, the process of the builder, the developer that did this, he did it wrong in both times.
yes,
Then he got it right, I am told, over when he did Hampshire Shores, because that was the last one to go in.
right.
So then he put it in,
And I really think that way back when this all went defunct and stuff like that, they had, the land had to go to somebody. For liability, for liability or something, so they probably didn't know how, didn't know, they
Well-
just, Milton gets it.
if he had done this right, he would have put in, this
Make it
obviously up
mandatory.
here would be like a common area for a clubhouse.
Right.
Okay, or a pool, whatever they wanna do, then these would be beaches. So if he had done it right,
It should have been one
it should have been
association
with
for
an
the,
association and a minimal
Exactly.
fee to take care of the
All the
common areas. Because right now, we own that property, right, 221,
Yep.
and that's not, now,
And that's for, I heard that tonight. So,
does the association, if they own it, do they pay taxes?
No,
No, because they are a nonprofit, is that correct?
right.
like 501c3.
Okay, and a nonprofit means you have no money left over?
Pretty much.
I mean, they can have, you can have some, a small balance, I think, yeah. But we have to report, like, recommending, we have to report to the AG as well, a report on the association as well.
right, the associations have to file certain paperwork
Yeah,
every year.
I think our.
Which Jerry does.
Sure, it does, okay.
So, I mean-
All right,
That's all I have.
That's
So
Nice
if
day
it-
today, huh?
if it goes to, if it-
house
So
lot,
that
right?
property at the very end of Franklin Road is
What
never,
about the guy in Silver Street that's building the garage?
because that I'm gonna have to
He's got a
explain,
permit?
which
Well, you
I
yelled
don't
at me
think
the
opened in
last time.
30, 50 years ago.
driving
No.
around.
All right,
Yeah?
Say, yes, it is, but one, I just wanna make sure. that was never ours, because that's what they're gonna tell me.
Well, Tangle, you mean this piece of property
Yes,
here?
the one
That's
that's
why the
gonna-
tangle was
I don't know what the, I don't know what,
Because from my understanding,
Yeah, so it doesn't cost them.
Well, that's number 75 down here, part Tangle and stuff like that. That's just the 38W on that.
where is the deed on this one here?
Just that was the first time I saw the water.
75?
And I said, what the
They're
heck?
taken from
Can we
two
put the
lots,
tax-
that's
Yeah, I
why
know.
you saw
Those
that.
out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pull the deed. You could go, you could go online.
Because that's my only question, that's what I'm gonna be questioned about, is that one. We've
What
always
is-
referred to it as the third beach.
What does the 38W
And even though you
mean?
guys refer to that wetland as the third beach, we
Let's,
don't, we
let's,
don't,
let's
we don't
forget,
really
let's don't
recognize
call
it.
them beaches, let's call them parcels.
Sure, that
Okay,
works.
so parcel
One?
1,
Yeah,
parcel 2, 3, 4, and you're questioning 5.
correct.
We can look at that, I can pull that.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanna make sure that I am, you know what I mean, because they're gonna question me, I mean, these people have been up there for years.
Well, see, people don't understand either. Right over there, that little spot right there that has nothing, that little corner. Right
Yeah,
there,
that's
that little
never
chunk,
been,
that's not on property too.
it's never been, it says right here, it's, town vacant, temporary.
Non-buildable,
Okay.
non-developable.
And this one wasn't on, so that wasn't it either?
No.
Okay, I just wanna
Yeah,
make
that's
sure.
what she-
You're right, don't, cause if you go out there, this road
Yeah.
comes down like this,
I
and
know.
it looks like it comes right to the beach.
Correct.
And,
You're right, somebody
and there
did
were
question why
there
they
were
would do
2
it.
piles of
Yes.
sand dumped. Looked like a small dump truck did it, or
Yeah.
something, a couple, 2 or 3 years ago. And that's a no-no.
No, I know that.
Unless you
But
have
again, we
permission to-
question- Right, and we questioned it at one of the meetings, and somebody said the town did it. That's what we were told at one of the meetings.
We know who did it. It was the town.
Okay. So anyway, my.
Don't fret,
point
John,
was is
because
that-
they're
so
doing
we
it
were
right now.
questioning it because that's what they think they own, so they do not own it. Okay,
Well,
so
We'll look.
We'll look, because we can look up the deed.
Uh-huh.
You can go on the registry of deed, pull it up,
okay.
and see who owns that, and then see what the pins are. But now, tax maps are not official maps.
Right.
Definitely are not.
No, I get it, believe me.
Because this, we'd have to look at this map.
Yeah, because see where it says Lakeland Beach on 104?
Goes
I
five.
really shouldn't say that. It's a wooded area, there's no beach.
We're in map 4.
So it should be on the other side of 5. Should be on the next page, yep, you're right.
Right here.
Should be on the other side,
Over here.
down here somewhere.
Oh,
That
yeah,
big
that-
triangle, yep,
Okay,
doesn't say anything.
Rest area.
rest area. What does that mean? That means, what does that mean, John, rest area?
Rest,
If it's on a road,
have
it's
no
on a
idea.
town
Rest
road, a
area.
rest area would be.
Where are you
a
talking
turnaround.
about? Where are you talking
Yeah.
about?
So you're
Lake
at
Shore.
Pinkham Shore Drive,
Uh,
right?
Yoder's
I
old
know,
place.
Pinkham
Yeah, but are you
comes down
turning
in.
or are you going straight?
No, it looks like there's a turnaround there, but it's,
It's the one right before the gate.
It's like right at John's Beach where that's considered a rest area or parking area? I don't know.
we'll find it out.
It's gonna be right where you go up to the yellow gate. It's
No,
right there.
no, because,
It's
no.
where we turn the trucks around when we go down.
Well, you turn them around because there's no delineation of what's what, whose property
You
is
either
what.
have to turn or you have to go straight.
Okay, when you come up here, the gate goes up here, this is, and this must be Pinkham right here, so this must be the little road, bumpy road, and the gate must be right
Right,
here.
so her house is right here.
Yoder's,
So you either come up to the gate or you go this way into
yeah, the
Tanglewood.
gate is,
So this is
Right.
just a continuation of the
So
road.
basically, right about in here is the gate going into Tangle.
Yeah. So you're,
oh
this
yeah,
is the
there's
street.
two gates,
Right.
there's 2 gates,
So
and there's,
this right here.
That's
we
Tangle.
don't know what this, we don't know
That's
what
Or
this is.
Yoda.
Okay, so this is that dirt road that's gonna head out.
That goes to
Right.
Tanglewood,
Right.
yes.
So this is the one to
Oh, this
Pinkham.
goes to Tanglewood? Because
Yes.
this goes up here to,
This goes to Pinkham.
But
oh,
see,
okay.
this,
Oh, is that what that
This is woods.
well,
Yes.
it could be overgrown road.
No, definitely.
It's
would.
Don't
trees
volunteer.
Are you talking about the piece that goes up to Pinkham?
No,
You know, at the end, where you
there
know where
there
you used to
seems to
live?
be a road
Go
to the
straight.
lake.
The one that goes to the left?
No, the one
right.
that's
So there's one to the right too that goes to the
The
lake.
one goes to the left, goes up to
That
Tango.
one.
Right,
The one to the right appears to be a ramp going to the lake, and it's probably in 25 feet off the road before you go in. I recommend.
Yeah. Road trip?
Road trip.
you have the same thing down on your street, if you go down to the right.
Oh, the one where Pinkham curves around, yes.
Same
That
exact thing.
that was originally a beach.
It was, this is all.
But it's overgrown, and the association a couple of years ago was contemplating putting a dock there, and they couldn't
Don't volunteer.
agree on the, how to manage the dock. Who gets use of the dock? How much is the insurance gonna be? So nothing happened, because there's members that do not have waterfront that have association rights to use the water, and they wanted a dock, understandable, but it hasn't happened yet. Okay, all right, so we'll get a,
I'll clear that one.
we'll put it,
But here are the other three for you guys to sign. So I can record those.
Won't work for Auntie Chris. Please, it's not like mom's, it's only, flip phones don't get people don't be using them.
They're exactly the same except
okay,
the map.
is there a motion? We have to have a motion?
We'll call it.
Or we have to wait?
We have to wait till another meeting.
And- Okay, so we have to wait till the hearing is closed, and we
Right.
close the hearing.
Then we can make a
Then
motion to go ahead and sign
then we
this.
the meeting still goes on,
Right.
and you make a motion to, or somebody, I'll make a motion to quit claim deed certain property, bump, and bump, and we're done.
Yep.
Okay.
Sign it and off to races and have fun with it.
Yeah, have fun. Oh, my. So, you know Christine had her baby?
Yeah. Oh boy, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I know, I called her on Sunday, found out on Sunday, when I found out.
Can I be excused for a second?
Sure.
Or I need to stay here for a second?
When did what?
You.
Yeah, came in.
How you doing?
That would be fun.
Good.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if it was 2 hours?
This
It'd be
is
wonderful
nothing.
if it was 1 hour. Yeah?
When he comes back, we can discuss other things,
Yeah, we kids, it's a board selectmen meeting.
okay,
We only, so
okay,
we have enough here to make it for a quorum, so.
okay.
But I'm being so good.
You are being so good, thank you.
Yeah. I like this place.
I'm glad.
You hope she says that after she turns of age, right?
Ugh.
She the first grandchild?
Yes, she's the only grandchild.
Aha,
She's the only.
Who lives at 19?
who lives at 19?
Yeah.
It's listed as, getaway properties, but I don't know who the women are, why. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Well, somebody turned in
Go away.
they had some work done down there, and I thought it was 15 that they were talking about, but it was 19.
God.
Tank put in,
A water tank?
no, propane tank, I believe it was
Very good, well, I appreciate it.
today.
Today?
But he came in today with a permit, but he put it in the other day.
Friday.
Right.
I saw
Well,
that.
he called me anyway and told me. He said, I didn't realize that you weren't open on Friday. I said, so he called me, and then I told him, that's okay, put it in, and I'll come down and look at it on Monday.
Did you go look at it?
Yes,
Is there?
I was down through there today.
Okay.
No, is there?
An inside propane tank?
Pardon?
So.
An inside propane tank?
No, no, he had an inside propane.
Who did it, down
I
east?
tried to look
Yes.
that this morning,
Yeah,
I
you
can't
did.
find anything, but I called like the school to see what they did, and they called the, like, to see what other areas.
Because what we do up at the State House, nobody there? Done.
I have an issue with what happened the other night at the planning board meeting with the raise for Amy.
You told me this.
I don't know if this is the place to talk.
No, Joe said it's a selectmen's meeting, he said yes.
Oh, we can talk about it, we may not be able to answer them.
Right, well,
But-
the issue I have is, one, you're giving her that kind of a raise, that's an $8 raise, and it's not $150 she makes a week, that's after a month, that's after taxes. However, you're giving her that raise based on this new thing she's gotta do with voluntary mergers. She might have a couple to do this month, what happens next month when she hasn't got all that extra work? My recommendation is,
We have to have
these
a
clerks
minimum.
should be put on hourly.
Well, that's what we're going to do for next year, put it as an hourly,
Then I would not increase her pay right now.
you know.
Because number one, what they should have approved was taking the recommendation before the selectmen, because they can't authorize a raise. It has to come before the selectmen.
They can work within the budget constraints. that
But
is
they
approved.
can't authorize the raise. That has to come to you guys.
And every department head could do the same thing,
Okay.
if you
No,
think
no,
about
no,
it like
we
that.
change it.
Okay.
Well, we'll change it, make it right, so.
But their motion should have been to make the recommendation to bring it to you.
Yeah, see, the issue is like that, now that Gwen says she didn't do the volunteer, the mergers and stuff like that, it's gonna dump on Amy. It's gonna,
That's part of her original
I
job.
thought
but no one knew that.
Right.
Yeah, but,
Roger come out and said that they didn't know that.
well then I'm just gonna say then she needs to post her own meetings and she needs to do all of Roger's footwork and not bring it to me. Cause if she's gonna make the additional money and I do all the work, there's a
No,
problem with
there's
that.
a problem with that, absolutely.
But I don't think she should be making more than any other employee in this
No.
town, and she is. Currently, she is.
Okay,
Cause unless she can prove that she's working 50 hours a month or whatever,
So
we
what
see
we
her
should-
for like an
right.
hour a month.
checks and balances and stuff like that, we should have her log in and log out.
Yep.
On a time card.
Yep.
Hours spent doing it.
You do it for everybody else, you do
Oh,
it
yeah,
for
no,
Lester,
yeah,
the
right.
beach
I'm not
commissioner.
trying to, no,
The, if I
yeah, sure.
may, voluntary mergers. I inquired today how many we've done.
So did I.
Okay, so last year, from 2016, 2017, it goes April to April. We did 4.
That's it?
The
That's
whole year, Joe.
4.
4.
And this year only
Wait a
one.
minute,
Okay, wait a
those were
minute.
properties that I sold.
Okay, okay. This year, so far, from April to now, I was told today it's been 4.
No. Gwen told me this morning it was only one.
Well, I checked this afternoon, she said 4, so.
Oh, maybe she
From
double checked it.
April.
From
We're
April,
talking
from
January.
April of 2017 to, or no, yeah, from April 2017 to April of 2018,
Okay, 4.
4.
Right.
So this year probably just been 1.
One, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so what that entails.
It entails making sure the properties are
just-
contiguous.
just-
I'm familiar with this.
I know you are, but I just, what has to be done is the application is turned in,
You know,
okay?
you
And
know, we're having a public meeting.
No, no.
Cool.
No, no?
You can't sit at the table till our meeting comes up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
In the public hearing, you didn't do it.
an application is filled out by the applicant.
Yep.
There's instructions on the applicant as to what they have to do.
Yep.
Okay, then they are turned into the planning board
Yep.
to be acted upon. And all the planning board has to do is, the clerk needs to schedule that in the next meeting or whenever they put it down.
Yep.
It's not, okay, and she has to do the legwork to go to the tax collector to make sure that the taxes are paid and that the property is owned by that property owner.
That's right.
And that can be done right there.
On that.
Well, it can be done on the
You're gonna
kiosk.
pay her gas money to walk across the street?
Just- we don't need to go there. So, in terms of workload, it appears that it wouldn't be that difficult. And, when you're doing 4 a year, I mean, it's just, in terms of the time hourly rate, I think next year should be an hourly rate, but I think in terms of, this is me, in terms of, we just
No different than anybody else, but no,
we
we
just
have-
did the payroll today, right?
Yeah.
And everybody has a timesheet. So,
See,
but upstairs, now I was chairman of the planning board, we did a stipend. Okay, we had difficulty getting clerks. We really did. Nobody wanted to do it. The last one that did a yeoman's job, as far as I'm concerned, I wasn't on the board that much when she was Joni, but she was here a lot. I did a lot of the secretarial work before Amy came on board, which was okay, but it did take some, take some time. But you know, all the clerk needs to do is the duties of the clerk are to actually set the agenda based on what the chairman wants to do, type up the minutes, distribute the minutes, post meetings. If there are decisions, type up the decisions, send them to the Registry of Deeds, which can be done by mail. Some have to be hand-delivered down there because they require, can you send one that requires, I'd have to check. That requires an LCHIP amount of money, because usually they won't bill that to the town. I was told the Registry of Deed, if it's a normal transaction,
No, you send separate checks,
okay,
but you can send it all in the
you
mail.
can send it
You
all.
just
in
have
there,
to
so you
know
don't have
what
to go
it's
down.
for.
I went down there because I knew the Registry of Deeds and I worked with her, so. Type up, Amy did a lot of work typing up the regs and all that kind of stuff. Once we had typed them up.
But she did all proofing.
Well, we did proofing too, but we,
Maybe
even
when
with
you
the
were there-
proofing, we missed proofs. I know we did.
And they
But
took a
that's
vote the
only
other night.
Once in a blue moon
That's,
thing, right?
that's rare.
Right.
They
That
took
is
a
rare.
vote the other night, Joe, to change the height of the fencing. They can't just do that.
Has to be voted in.
No, that has to be
That-
done,
And it's
that has to be done
They
at
said it
town
was a
meeting.
typographical error, well then somebody has to go back and find that typographical error
Well, there
before
is,
you can change it like
well,
that.
there's something amiss there, because the warrant article says one thing, and the regs say another.
Mhm.
So,
Getting
there's a doozy there in terms of how to fix that up.
Mhm.
The easiest way to do that is, it's typographical error, I don't know if you can change it, but,
I got John, I got
They can, they're working, live working documents, they're always.
but that, not ordinances, ordinances are, the town ordinances,
Right.
planning, land use ordinances, different than a town ordinance.
Not Barry. I didn't bring him to the
Any
vote.
changes must be approved by the town, must be put in the warrant. So when we did that big one, we did the whole big thing,
Right.
and then, the town, I'm sure read every 126 pages of it, I don't think they did, but, that's what happened on that, so. That error, we have in the minutes someplace that we discussed changing it, I am sure. It just either, when we revised them,
They did,
we did it in the actual document, but it appears that we didn't do it on the warrant article. And I'm gonna guess that if it was on the warrant article, that's gospel and we can't, it's not a typo.
No, you have to go back and
We'll
read it
have
and
to,
you
we'll have to do it, like they've done in other issues, other
put it on the town warrant.
situations where they made a mistake or they said something wrong, they have to correct it at town meeting. And
Right.
That's just a simple warrant article, correct, you can put on there, was decided and it was incorrectly communicated on the warrant article,
Right.
therefore, we're correcting this, and here's the minutes, and blah, 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 blah.
Right, exactly.
Not a big deal.
All
Not
fixable.
a lot of difference between, what was the height on that, 46? And we went down to
42.
40,
42 and it should be 48.
Yeah, it was,
yeah,
it
because
was like 3 foot and a half.
Yeah, I don't know many building supplies that have standard 42-inch fences.
Yeah, really.
Although, those picket fences,
Yep,
you could get stinky winky if you wanted to and say on within the Sunrise Village District, no more than a picket fence and not a permanent fence, you could say that. Because the reason for the fence height was not to close, the density is dense enough, and if everybody put fences up, it would get even more dense. And you're trying to keep it open for kind of everybody. Yes, I'm speaking planning board stuff, I shouldn't be doing
I know, but
Sure you should.
Well, the
can I
question
just
is,
say
tell
something?
people what to
Sometimes
do
you
on
end
their
up with
own
someone
property.
behind you that,
that. Well, that's called,
Yeah, I know,
okay.
Chris, huh?
There are statutes against, addressing,
I'm okay with the people
no,
behind me.
there's statutes against
In the past, I
fences,
had
put
someone
up
behind
spike
me.
fences, they're called spike fences.
Yeah.
There
I
are
think I have one.
statutes that address those issues.
But we're in this, the last planning board meeting we had, we are in the process of going ahead. I think what we're gonna put in there, like I talked with Joe, is just put fence, C page something, and then
Definition of what a fence is. Didn't we have
definition of
that?
what a fence is, but also then, you gave me all that stuff from Rye and everybody else you gave me. So we'll pick that thing apart and see if there's anything
Yeah,
we
so a
want
lot
to
of
add.
towns, I think ours says it, but not clear enough. Fence can only go so far up to the right of way because of
Yeah.
safety reasons in
Right.
terms of visibility down the road.
So what about when you do it in the back, each of the backyards, is that okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
mine's in the backyard. Mine
You
isn't in
can
the
put it in the
front,
back,
it's
you can put it in the backyard. Now, it's, you live in Sunrise Village District, right?
Correct, I do, yeah.
Okay, so that says, right now, it says you can't be higher than 42, or whatever it is,
43.
43. Now, if it's over that, it's a violation.
Even if it's been there for 18 years?
It's a violation.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of
Unless you go to
them.
the
There's-
ZBA.
There's a lot of violations in terms of, that are, now that are in stone, grandfathered in, if you will. Because nobody's addressed it, the town didn't address it, so forth, and didn't address it. What you wanna be careful of is you wanna be consistent, and that's what you wanna be.
The other thing you always do, you always go to the zoning board for a waiver.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what a zoning board is
So-
there for, so to give you relief if there's a need for that, but be careful of spike fences.
John?
You know, I was gonna say, the ZBA has changed or approved some height changes on
Yeah.
fences.
Yeah, they have a right to do
And I'm going to a meeting on the not the 24th.
that. 23rd.
I don't know, if there's another meeting I'm going to in Concord, that's gonna be discussing fences around swimming pools.
Yep.
I believe there's a state statute, but I can't find it, about heights around swimming
Well,
pools.
what you need
And
to-
it's more than 42 or 48, or whatever you wanna say.
But you need to.
They have a
look at is-
requirement of 6 feet, I believe, around swimming pools that are in ground.
That may be a national code, but it also may be in rules. Rules, you have to look in rules all the time also. Rules are, statutes are basic policy that we give to departments to say, we want you to execute this. You figure out how to do it. Then they sit there and they have hearings, just like we're having here and so forth and so on. And then they make up rules. That's how DES makes up rules. That's how the Department of Safety makes up rules. That's Fish and Game makes up rules. We say, we want you to preserve all the wildlife in New Hampshire. You figure out how to do it.
And here's your budget. Work with it.
And we won't give you any money to do it, but anyway, so let's go ahead and do it. That's what it is. Okay, I'm gonna shut up.
Gotta fill the time somehow. It's a public meeting, so I mean, the way I look at
Public
it,
meeting on.
nothing on agenda,
Public
so
meeting-
when it comes up, we talk
Public meeting
about.
on
Can't-
transfer of property from the
That's,
town
it's different, Joe.
We don't know
to
what we-
Sunrise Lakeland
Did you
Association.
open this at 6?
5:30.
5:30.
5:30.
The last meeting was said it was gonna be a fight.
I got something I need you guys to sign though.
What is this?
This is that for, that contract that John and I got involved in with the, environmental people to go out and do tests, drillings all the way around.
Down in that spot for the cemetery.
Yeah, the big thing on the back, it says it's a contract. So, so you sign it, give it to Laura, she can fire it off to them tomorrow and they can start that project down there.
What department's that for?
Hmm?
What department is that for?
The cemetery fund.
Cemetery? I don't know.
Stony Ridge Environmental LLC.
It's wonderful water.
Scope of work, I'm not gonna take through the all line, like I said, scope of work proposal will include wetland delineation of the partial visit last week. The proposed cost for the portion of the work is $450, not including mileage. So, got terms. That's been not include any, include time for any additional meetings or special studies that may be requested as part of this project. Natural heritage, fees, environmental, historical resources
I
fees.
can't hear what he's saying.
Application fields, copies, and mileage excluded from the above noted cost and will be billed separately. Payment is due upon receipt of invoice, and payments received after 30 days are assessed, a late fee, whatever. Okay? Hourly bill, we will be billed hourly at the rate of work of $87 per hour. By new contractors can run it on additional work. Bill is bi-weekly, and SRE reserves the right to stop all work for non-payment service rendered under contract. SRE can start work once the signed contract and retainer are received. So, proposal is good for 60 days from the date of this document, which is May 14th. 21st, we're a week into it already.
What are they doing?
Core samples,
Test pits.
Four samples.
Soil testing for down here, so we have the right
just
soil.
like they did down here. Good.
Is that the one on Eastman, the corner of Eastman?
Just past Eastman, yes, just past the yellow house on Eastman, by the big boulder. You only need to identify it between the two houses, the big boulder on the left-hand side, just past Eastman. You can't miss it. The big of the truck.
What's the map and lot? It's 1250 something.
Map-
1250
map's
dash
12.
one was
Yeah, I
little.
don't remember.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
We're not in a selectmen's meeting, is that correct? We're in a hearing,
It's a hearing, yes.
so we're not in a selectmen's meeting.
You don't have to be in a selectmen's meeting for that.
We need to-
I
Oh, yes,
think
you
it-
do.
I think it,
No, you don't.
I
Yes, you
think.
do.
You guys basically gave me permission to go ahead and do what I have to do.
But we have to sign
Yes,
that.
okay.
Right.
Love you.
Unless you want me to sign it off, but
No,
I
don't
thought
want
you
to.
wanted to sign it
No,
off.
no, I'm just saying. Just not gonna, it has to, I would think it'd have to be in a meeting.
Right on. Well, we can't hold that forever, ever, ever, ever. either.
Well, Roger, we have a
You
regular.
guys gave me, when you were around, Joe and John gave me permission to take the money out that I needed to get that done. And they signed something.
All right,
I'm
so this-
asking
So this
you-
is a contract, right? You said
I'm
this-
asking you,
This is a contract, so I think
do
we
you
should.
wanna sign it, or I'll do it tomorrow?
No, you won't sign.
Oh, yeah, I will.
No, you won't.
You've given me the permission to go ahead and do it.
Who has the control of the monies?
You've given me the okay to
You've
take
given
that
the
money out and do it.
To do it.
Roger has been given the okay to pursue
That's different.
the whole thing about the
The
contract.
whole
Capital
thing.
reserve.
To spend the capital reserve?
That's right.
You can't give him the okay to spend capital
Just-
reserve.
They did, as a cemetery.
He has,
Want me to go get the letter that you wrote, that we did? I go get it.
Oh my
That can only be done in town meetings.
god. What's it?
Yeah, you got it.
wait. Everything gets worked out. Let's go get it, what we done.
Don't you
I can't
guys
remember
sign,
every little thing that we've done here. God almighty,
Don't you guys sign things other than in the town, into the selectmen?
we gave Roger to pursue the idea, like that, okay? He's gone out, he pursued, he's got a contract, now he needs the money for it. I think that has to come to the board of selectmen, because we control the money
Right.
out of the capital reserve.
Okay.
Roger doesn't, so he's bringing a contract that he has gotten for us, so we have to make a decision whether to enter into this contract, then it's what, $150.
You're right.
It's incidental.
Yeah.
There's
Absolutely.
also a contract between Stony Ridge and the town.
Right, so we have to sign off on it, so.
It won't be delayed, it won't be delayed, we'll take care of it.
It gives us 60 days
I
and
don't
stuff
have
like that.
I don't have a problem with it at all, I just have a problem with the process. I just want the process to be right. Okay, what, go ahead, you can read that.
Well,
Love it.
to the, oh, listen,
From him, and you
Right.
guys signed it.
yes, we did, yes, we did. Brian Sledger asked permission to take money for the capital reserve line to do test pits for the water levels on map 12, lot 51. We need to do this before we can decide the spot for the town cemetery, respectfully Roger Maines, cemetery chair, and we signed it. But I think in the whole context, we're giving him permission to go out and do whatever he needs to get the information and bring back to us so we can spend the monies for that.
Right.
Okay? I mean, there is a process, and you're right, Roger, and John's right, we're not gonna delay this, okay? Next regular meeting will be just after the 1st of June, because next Monday is going to be a holiday. So the one after that, and we will sign it and we get the money for you.
Good enough.
You'll have it checked on probably on Tuesday,
All right, now go down and spend it on Wednesday.
and you go down and spend it on Wednesday. It's fine. So,
That's okay,
We'll go out to lunch on Wednesday.
that's fine. I just like the,
I know. But anyways, that's what's happening first. They're
so
coming
they're gonna
out.
test and delineate the nature of the property.
Right, and then after that, there will be, if she comes, which she'll send us a big map of all the spots they delineated out there on that 5
That'll
acres.
determine whether it's a wetland or not a wetland or
Well, right
whatever.
now, when John or myself went out there, it was pretty much, it's not a wetland. The first part is wetland.
Don't say that because I can tell you, wetland scientists will come and they'll look and they'll see, oh, I see an eyedropper of water down there, and they'll delineate it as a wetland.
We had her out there.
I understand
She
that.
went out.
Just saying.
it's more than just whether it's a wetland.
No, but other.
Soil
compaction and everything else
Right.
with the cemetery, because I know, because I did the original report, that, you know, you have to have a certain type of soil, or prep the soil for burial, it's different than construction sites.
I'll bury him standing up.
You can do that, yes, you can. No, you can't.
What do you mean,
I
you
know.
don't want Mrs. Jones in the back?
That's
You
Mr.
right.
Bloom's
you wanna
driving.
give enough room for everybody to fit in.
That's
You can
right.
also
Well,
stack them.
5 acres, we'll stand them up.
Will you call her and find out what
How
kind of
many-
retainer they want? They
Huh?
want a retainer as well, can you see when the retainer was received, how much is the retainer?
You can start working with the sign count to the retainer receipt. Okay, this is,
Says the total cost is $450.
scope of the work of this proposal, delineation of parcel, da-da-da-da-da.
I've been here.
Let's see.
I'll make
Okay,
it.
now, this will also include the natural bureau fees, they come and look and make sure there's no artifacts hanging around in there.
Can be burial ground.
Could be, Ossipee was, putting in new sidewalks, and they ran into, artifacts. Stopped the whole project. Okay, payment is due upon the invoice payment, okay,
I
yep.
just need to know because I need to request it from the capital reserve.
Yeah, they don't say what the retainer should be. Terms, estimate does not include time for additional meetings, special studies that may be requested on a project, okay. Natural Heritage Bureau fees, you can look those up. Department of Historical Resource fees, you can look that up. Application fees, copies and mileage are excluded. No cost, will be billed separately, okay, those are given. Payment is due upon receipt of the invoice, payment received after 30 days, so it's not 30, it says late fees, okay, that's just boilerplate stuff. Any additional requested work beyond what is listed in the scope of services, which just says The scope of the work for this proposal would include wetland delineation parcel we visited last week. So it's a wetland delineation, is what it is.
Yeah, she went out and took the horse samples.
And at $87 per hour, or a new contract will be drawn up to account, that's fine, that's okay.
I gotta cut the.
Reserves the right to stop the work for non-payment, that's boilerplate.
She thinks.
Okay, I think just need to know what the retainer is.
Yeah. Doesn't work there.
That's a good one. What's
I'll
the-
find out what the retainer will be.
Take it out of your money. Then give it, we'll get it out of my money.
I got
Huh?
15 bucks on me.
Big two?
That work?
I'm getting out of here.
10 more minutes, and we're done.
All right, give you a quickie update on the tower. I talked to both of them today. The AT&T thing is, they're in the process of right now, drawing up the maps, okay? So that's what the tower company's waiting for, is
Took off about his
the,
head,
not the
can't
map,
believe
but
it.
whatever they call those things. But anyway, for better lack of a term, and that's what the towers company's working for, and AT&T right now is waiting for, some things that they had to research, which they researched, and they found out that everything's all set right now. So they're starting to put that package together. They've already sent, they didn't have to send out a historian, because the historian, there's no history down there. Oh, that was what it was. It was the, the size of the lot, what do you do?
100 by 100,
Huh?
100 by 100.
Yeah, when you send somebody out and they measure it.
Survey,
Huh?
the survey?
Survey. Eee. All right, so they're going off the survey from Norway Plains. So that was the big thing that AT&T wanted to work with Norway Plains. Norway Plains has already got it done, so they're working with Norway Plains. That should be all taken care of with them. I told them about getting back to fencing again. I told them our regulations right now are 4 feet. They will have to come before the zoning board to have that fence put as high as they want. And they said, you know, that there would be no problem. That's the only thing that's gonna hold them up right now. Looks like everything should be, he thinks everything should be done with AT&T, FirstNet, and them. Should be done in July. And then they hope to be breaking ground pretty soon after that. So,
You know, that'd be good by the time that Nelson gets out of there, that'd be pretty much
yeah.
their time frame. So.
The other thing is, I talked to T-Mobile. T-Mobile got all the information that we sent them. He's going to go through it this week and take a look at it. And he's gonna get back with me on that and decide where they wanna put their tower. So that's where we're standing. Anybody any questions? Yes.
Now, we get money only when the second unit or the second provider goes on the tower. My question is FirstNet an entity in its own right and then AT&T?
I am playing golf on the 25th with John.
Well, it'd be interesting if the FirstNet going up on the tower
Yeah.
fulfills the contract for the first provider, and then the public communication would be the second one.
Well, like I say,
I don't think that's correct, but
like I say, I'm playing golf on the 25th with John. I will ask him that question. Matter of fact, I gotta talk to him tomorrow anyway. So, but, I don't know. That's the way he, you know, it sounded like FirstNet was different and AT&T was different, but I think they're
yeah, I
same
think it
entity.
is.
didn't get your belt today.
It's okay.
It's up here.
So, that's pretty much brought you up to speed on those two things. Didn't waste enough time yet, though.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is the tower company the one we originally signed a contract with?
Blue Sky.
Play
Blue Sky.
school.
So AT&T is working with Blue Sky?
Yes.
Blue Sky has, okay, so AT&T is not putting up the tower, Blue Sky is putting it
Blue Sky's putting the top.
up. Okay. Then are we locked in for AT&T service?
Yes.
What if I have Verizon? What happens then?
Oh my God.
Well, that's where you're gonna find the competition coming in, you know, they're all gonna find.
I'm not worried about later, I'm worried about now, but I like my Verizon.
I like my Verizon deal, but so we're gonna get Bobby have things.
Nothing I can do about it. The tower's going up AT&T right now. I'm gonna have the top spot. Verizon is a competition of AT&T.
I know
Sure.
that.
We're trying to put up the same system,
Tracy,
and they've already been,
is it Tracy's here?
AT&T told us at a meeting that Verizon won't be much later. They'll be right underneath them.
I think you'll find too, that since this FirstNet
Hey, is it the
system went through, not only has AT&T pumped up the power for the existing towers that are right now out there, but Verizon has done the same thing. I'm finding that in my little hole in the valley down there in Newport Road, I'm getting more signal.
But they've already said, the only thing different between Verizon and FirstNet is that priority type thing when we were
Yeah,
at
I
that
remember
meeting.
that.
That was, but there, John Stevens is trying to get those two companies to, it's like putting two bulls together, you know, so that's the big thing there, so they're trying to get them to team up.
Okay.
4 minutes.
Open meeting this one. We don't do this. We do this on board meeting?
No, we'll do it tomorrow. That's gonna hold that.
Over here.
After the hearing?
Yes.
Nice time, John.
How do you go pool?
Thank you. Springtime, summertime.
You could hide a lot of gravy on that.
Let me tell you, there has been.
This is Fritos.
Cleans well.
Oh, Fritos.
What?
This is Fritos.
Okay.
You should have been there Saturday or Sunday. What day was it, John?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Where?
We ripped that place.
He's ripping that place apart. Can you believe a piece of thing like this?
This was that.
Hey, Joe,
Oh, I still can before I leave Arizona. I'm leaving tonight for Arizona, so.
okay, a board like this, if it was this wide, it's shorter than this, would have 5 nails.
16 pennies.
16 penny nails, 5 of them. And
Every
then
6
they
inches.
tow
Well, I sit there and just connect the electrical coming out of that thing, right?
them. Yeah,
That's where I get this puppy from. They had staples. I mean, every like 4 inches, they had
Yeah.
staples on this piece of pop. And when go and snap, jam my finger in it. Oh my, didn't that hurt?
I don't know
Come
who,
out of there.
Did you say anything?
I can't believe that.
it
I'll tell you
was
what you didn't
unbelievable.
find.
Huh?
I'll tell you what you didn't find. We had an old building we were rehabbing down in Gonick. Tony wanted to move the 220 wiring, so he started finding out where the wire went. Someone had run the 220 wire in the wall and then just plastered over it.
Oh, jeez, hot.
Yeah, hot.
All right.
Thank God for the building electrical inspector, huh?
One more minute. 1 minute. Lord, did you have these stuff printed out for the,
I gave it to you at the beginning of the month,
that's the same one?
and on your desk.
Okay, yeah, okay. Thought so. Making sure nothing else is.
It's easier if I do them all at the same time, then you don't forget.
Okay.
So in 1 minute, I'm good to go.
Yes.
Yep.
Well,
We're taking over.
no, we said 1 hour, you know, we'll do it 1 hour.
Does she have to sign it?
Just give me an hour of your time, that's it.
What?
Okay, we're going to close the public hearing for the Sunrise Lakelands Association, at this point, and,
Thank you, I appreciate it.
okay, so, do I have a motion that we, go ahead to accept and, the quitclaim deed for this property?
Yeah, I make a motion that, we make a quitclaim deed on property located on Lake Shore Drive, map 04, lot 104, sublot 000, to the Sunrise Lake Association.
The same for, this map and,
Okay,
yeah,
is there a second?
yeah, I'm sorry, second.
Is there a vote?
Yeah, all in favor?
Okay. All right,
Aye?
aye. Okay, go ahead.
You do it.
Okay. While you're signing it, I make a motion that we approve a quitclaim deed for property located on Lake Shore Drive, map 04, lot 108, sublot 000, to be granted to the Sunrise Lakeland Association.
We're second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Just consignment this back.
Okay, and the last one. I make a motion that we quitclaim deed property located on Lake Shore Drive, map 004, lot 221, sublot 000, to granted to the Sunrise Lakeland Association.
I will second. All in favor?
Aye. Where did that, oh, okay. I thought I was signing on your spot. Okay.
There. Good deal. Make a motion to close, to adjourn for the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
At 6:33.
Okay.